Sergio Pullman, and I'm the EC Council webinar. In this webinar, I will talk about the user awareness. From my point of view, the user awareness is a big challenge today to the information security professional. This is a very important topic to think every day of your life. During this webinar, I will talk about concepts of computer users, a short explanation why the user is a potential threat to a computation environment, a couple of examples of risks disposed by unprepared users, and a couple of countermeasures to apply in the organizations. Our agenda in this webinar will be a silicon device versus carbon device, the user is dangerous, a global alert about the potential risk in the information security to all organizations, a common countermeasures to try to mitigate a human threats inside your organization, how to implement a SETA, the Security Education and Training Awareness Program, how to maintain and still continuous awareness program, a couple of conclusions about these topics. Silicon device versus a carbon device. I like very much of this phrase. When we have a great preoccupation securing a silicon device, the big attackers are attacking a carbon device. This parallel, silicon device versus carbon device, is beautiful to me. The silicon device is the hardware and the software inside him. We already have a very complex programs and techniques and cures and methods, etc. to try to improve the security of this device. But we haven't a good programs applied to a carbon device. The carbon device I see is user. The carbon device are a human device. We are a carbon device. Our brain are a carbon device. We are the most dangerous device. The user is one of the bigger menace to the information security professional. Sometimes we are inclined to confirm the theory of the user do nothing, but the problem is much more complex. The user is dangerous. Why I say the user is dangerous? Because in your environment, the user is a human endpoint to any system. Some people say the user is a human and this is a problem. But the great problem is he is not a physical thing user. The computer user is not a physical thing user like common users. The computer user is a virtual thing user, or he is a user of a concept, and this concept to him is a very complex concept, is a very large concept. This is an impossible concept, is a misunderstanding concept. To the user, technology is a magical word. We can look at a single example. A driver is an user, and he is a physical thing user. He can use a truck or car or bicycle or anything. In this example, think he drives a truck. Then your tool is your truck, but your final product are physical things. The driver can interact with your truck. He can smell your truck, he can touch, he can feel, he can interact physically with your truck. And he can interact with your final product. He can touch, he can smell, he can look the physical things. Because your product is a physical thing. The computer user is a user tool, and your tool is a computer. But your final product is only data. All are the data. Although normally the user cannot understand the computer, he can touch the computer, he can feel the computer, he can interact with your computer. But the computer user cannot physically interact with the data. He never will touch the data. He never will feel the data as a physical thing. He never will feel the data. The data is not a physical thing. Then your user is a user of a virtual thing. And the user brain tries to make an abstraction layer to data because he needs to live with the data. In most cases, is inefficient with this task. When you say to a driver, you'll need to put beer in your gas tank to make them faster, the driver normally thinks this is a stupid idea. My car is moving using a gas engine or another combustible. Or if you say, give me your car key to open my car or to open my home door, the driver thinks this is not correct. My car key and your home key are different keys. This is my car, this is my key, and this is wrong. But you say to most computer user, I've lost my password to access my email. Please give me your password just a moment, then I will use this key to open my mail. The user normally do not understand what type of key you are talking about. The user normally do not understand what type of key you are talking about. The driver is a physical thing user, but the computer user is an user of a concept. He never will can touch your email. He never will can sustain a beat in your hand. He never will can compare two email keys. And computer jargon is extremely extensive and grows daily. We think the user needs to understand the data, but this is not the reality. As a computer professional, we are mentally prepared to think the user isn't stupid, but although much users really are idiots, the great problem isn't the user attitude. The great security problem today is the knowledge of the user, is the awareness of the user, is the limited user skill. If your user is a stupid user, this is another problem. To any stupid, you can create a foolproof programs, you can create tips and tools to guide him, you can guide him, but every user, stupid or not stupid, can be guided to make a mistake. If the attacker knows social engineering techniques, he can guide your user to make very dangerous things, fatal actions to your organization. Your user is normally inside of the organization. The user can have an account in your system. The user needs to have an account in your system. The user can be a manager or can be a privileged employee of your organization. This sounds complex, right? But it's much more complex thing. Look, I am a user and you are a user. Sorry. You is an information security professional. You do not need awareness to execute your complex job, right? Well, it's okay, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. But if you are watching this webinar, possibly you are the most dangerous user in your organization because you have a lot of power in your hands. Like a root user in a Unix-like operational system, a simple mistake in just one server can be very expensive to the computation environment. You're a powerful user, then you are a monster. Take care with your power. Then remember, your DBA is a user. Your network manager is a user. Your programmers are users. Your technicians are users. Your driver are users. Your secretaries are users. Your manager are user. Your president are an user. All people in your organization are users. All people in your organization are threats to your information security environment. All are users. and all are dangerous. And you never can measure the total risk of the users. You never can precisely determine the crash your user can make in your organization. Why? Because he's a human. He's unpredictable. He makes completely unlogical decisions. He makes human decisions. Your user can make correct and can make wrong things. He has a decision power inside him, and he only makes the things. If the user is not prepared to use it, he can make everything wrong. He can know or ignore the consequence. But if the user knows the consequence of your acts, he can avoid much of your headaches in a short feature. Then, a global alert to a potential risks. Remember this. All people in your organization can be a user. From the garbage man to the president, all are users. All users are potentially dangerous. I already commented about this. We are users. We don't like to accept this fact, but this is the sad reality. We are users too. Same users need to have a very high permissions, and same user can be extremely dangerous. And you never can estimate precisely the damage a user can cause to your organization. And finally, the user is inside of your organization. This is a big trouble. Yes, the hacker who your director have afraid, the hacker is outside of your company, but your user is dangerous and is inside your company. Think about this. A countermeasures. Maintain a clear information security policy. Implement and maintain a best technical resource to increase your security. Implement and maintain security education training programs. And finally, implement and maintain a still continue awareness program. The first two countermeasures is outside of our scope. This is a daily measures who the information security professional needs to fight every day. But this is not my point. My point is the user awareness. And the idea of this webinar is to present especially the SETA and the sort of compliments and observations. Then we will go ahead. Before continue, I'm going to reinforce some concepts. The information security fields has grown rapidly because a new threats daily created. Also, the security professionals are constantly seeking to make your system more secure. And the organization put money in a new firewall. ID is intrusion detection system. IP is intrusion prevention systems. ATP, advanced threat protection. DLP, data loss prevention. Endpoint antivirus, new generation antivirus, new generation firewall, etc. All of these is a silicon device. All is silicon device. And to silicon device, these are the best measures to contain or minimize the threat. But to the carbon device, these measures are not enough. The best and the most prominent line of defense of your network are forever the educated and awareness end user. Informed employees can be helped in protecting assets of the organization, and at the same time he can protect themselves and your family. How you can see, a good information security awareness program can be an excellent tool for your organization, but also can be a personal tool to your employee. Remember, to a silicon device, use another device, program, rules, etc. To carbon device, use the information security awareness. Then the SETA. The SETA is Information Security Education and Knowledge to the User. SETA is an acronym from the Security Education and Training Awareness Program. SETA is a general use term used by hundreds of security organizations to your training and application. Maybe the best reference to the SETA is a NIST special publication numbered 850. The NIST is a National Institute of Standard of Technology. If you seek in the web for NIST 850, you can find this excellent publication. But if you simply search for SETA security or SETA program, you can find a lot of material about this SETA program. Well, go ahead. The SETA program is a very effective measure to gain points in the information security world. This is an educational program that's designed to reduce the number of security data breach that occur through a lack of employee security awareness. Finally, the user education is to reduce the data breach. The two major advantages of the SETA program adaptation is the employee behavior improvement, because the employees know how the data and information flows occur, and this makes the user, the employee, more responsible, working with more care, more security, more trust yourself, and hold the user more accountable with your actions. Also develop skills and knowledge so that users can perform the jobs using IT system more securely. And SETA implementation. I choose thinking the SETA implementation in 5 steps. First level, second, third level resource, and the good steps are good practice to implementation. Look, these names, first level, second level, etc., can be different on each material you find. I prefer call first, second, third level because for me it's more simple and more direct and can be more intuitive. The first SETA implementation level. Implement with new user or users who do not have previous SETA experience. If it's the first SETA implementation in the organization, you need to be applied in the all users. It's a very common and simple but extremely effective. Takes the user understand the concepts of information security and the consequence of your acts, and make the user understand the data flow and principally the risks involved in any operation. Can use a lot of resources to make a soft entry of the user in the information security world. We can speak about the resource later. Much professional unify the first and the second level in the same step. I prefer the approach of first level to a new users and the next level to users who already have a contact with the SETA program or users who already knows about the technology. In a second level, we may to increase a skill level of each user. Treats to maintain each person involved, understanding their roles and their responsibilities. Involves each user in the information security process, and this is continuous, never ends. The SETA implementation is a completely endless process. When you complete a cycle, you will need to start a new one. This is endless process. In this step, we teach each user about what to do and how to do, and what should not to do. Provides detailed information and instructions to improve security. We can create groups divisions, and takes a specific training to each area. Users can be divided in area groups like beginners, intermediate, engineers, managers, financials, technicians, etc. All of these need to receive a specific training, and I reinforce this. This is continuous. This never ends. The third level is designed to apply with employees with a very specific and advanced functions, normally advanced users. Maybe this involves information security certifications, and these advanced users can be a feature SETA replicators to another users. Couple of resources. Internet have a lot of resources to a good training program. Also, you can use simple and cheap resources, simple printing materials, or using a mail system, for example. But you can make formal class, especially to first level of SETA. It's important to make formal class. You can create a group of users in an internal software or simply using a social network like a user group on a Facebook or WhatsApp group or Telegram group of users or another social media. Take advantage of the job location, job types, etc. because some users can be trained in your workplace. During your work journey, using the daily software he already knows. Much of the user prefer to approach of a self-study method. But look, this can be a two-hours word. If you relax, some self-study user abandon the study. Take care with this method. Another good resource is a computer-based training. You can buy or obtain free versions of programs to use awareness training. Searching in the web, you can find a lot of free resources of this type. Distance learning is to the case of organization who prefer the use a course like a MOOCs, a massive open online course, because internet have a lot of these courses and specialized sites in offer to a user awareness training. This course may be incentive your user with an external conclusion certificate to him. This is a good idea. Finally, you can make webinars like this one, prepared to training your users remotely and in a comfortable place and comfortable time to him. Another simple resource is the use of mugs, posters, bulletin boards, banners, t-shirts, canvases. You can make security parties. Anything creative will incentive the people to enter in information security world. Now we will look some good tips or a good practice to implement a SETA program. First, you need to define the scope of the program, the goals and the objective of your program. This is the first tip, and normally this is the most difficult, especially to a first-time SETA program. In the training staff tip, you define your staff. Who will be responsible to make a training, presentation, etc. and considers your staff is very important. You need to consist and staff with a good skill level and very trusted people. Then you identify your audience. Create a lot of group of users if is necessary. Normally this separation is a very good idea. And each group of users with a specific goal and objective. You will define the motivation strategy. You will need to create an expectation in your users. Your user needs to have a desire to participate of your SETA program. Now you'll need to execute your training program and finally obtain feedback from the users. This feedback is very important to solve problems and to increase the program quality in the future to your next training day. Also, a valid strategy is to make your use receive an information security training without know about he is participating in a training. This can be done with poster, with social media, with pictures, drawings, etc. And a very good tool to make this is the news. For example, you can send a mail with information about data breach, data stolen, etc. to all users. Same users will be interested in search more information about the news, and this technique may result in very good advances. Some tips: make a formal awareness program, especially document all actions, all plans, and all procedures you need to make. Help users to understand how a data breach can be affect your job. Prefer to provide good information early as possible rather than a perfect information too late. Time is money. Do not provide excess of information to your user because excessive detail can be confused for the users. And do not apply poor or wrong programs. Analyze your program. If you conclude he needs more work, make more work. Wrong security programs are very bad to motivation of your users. Conclusions: I say the user can be dangerous, and silicon device is not enough. Firewall, IDEs, IPs, DLP, ATP, and another character subs are not enough. Silicon device is only a part of the security process. A SETA program is a very good idea. A good program with a good information security awareness can increase your security and reduce your future headaches. And your user can help you protecting themselves. Maybe the right expression is your user can help you to help themselves. And this is the end of our webinar. First, thank you very much to the EC Council for the opportunity to present this webinar. And thank you very much for watching. This is my contacts. Feel free to add me into your friend circle. This is my email, sergio.pullman@gmail.com, and my LinkedIn profile. You're welcome. It will be a pleasure to find you. I see you. Bye.